I thought it would be tonight appropriate in our sitzung to have a few words on commitment. Over the length of time, we have talked a great deal of commitment. We have done papers, but I think we have somehow also to summarize it instead of a long, outdrawn philosophy, putting it rather into a nutshell. And I will try just to do that, because what we here have in a nutshell will stay much better in our mind. So the first distinction that we were aware we had to make was, when we make a commitment, to what is a commitment? To a fantasy, a self-glorification, a fantasy that life will be beautiful in heaven, and we will pretty much get there quickly without thinking, how will we do that? And what would heaven be like? And people will pay us more respect, they will love us more because we are different from other people. So the fantasy is endless. A couple of words on this is sufficient. I think all know what I'm talking about. Spiritual life is no fantasy whatsoever. We can be highly stimulated and inspired to spiritual life, but we can't have any fantasies. In fact, we have to be very courageous and strong and look at the facts as the facts are, what they are. We cannot indulge in any particular fantasies. So the reality of spiritual life then looks quite different. In order to fulfill a true commitment, I have first to look at myself. In the workshop that we do here, what kind of a person I want to be is a very important stepping stone, because you decide what a person you want to be. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Then the rest of the ongoings in the ashram can be supportive in those things that you want now to accomplish. It is your responsibility and a commitment to yourself that you fulfill the statements, what kind of a person you want to be. The question is also attached to this particular type of workshop of self-investigation. Why are you born? Why are you here? What is the purpose of your life? And do you live a life worthwhile living? These are very important questions to answer. Without a straight answer, factual answer, well investigated, fantasies will not do it. Of course, if you have decided what kind of a person you want to be, you have to put your decisions into daily application. The question has often come up when I have been on roundtable conferences. Do students, followers, disciples have a right to demand of their spiritual leaders to have an example? I think you would not trust anybody teaching you how to fly an airplane who has never been up in the air. Because that's what we also teach, quality in life. So you already have to commit yourself, to become that person that you have decided you want to be, to honesty, to quality in your work, and also quality in your relationship, your co-workers, your co-seekers, and all those who try at their best to find the Most High. The other thing is, if you are truly committed to the Most High, spiritually speaking, then you should consider any kind of work for anybody, wherever it is, putting stems on, or peeling potatoes, or making jams, or performing an Indian dance, or singing bhajans, in any way, you should always put the highest quality in that you're capable of. Serving the Most High means always, at all times, you give your best. And you have to know deep within yourself that you do give your best. And always have your commitment to the Most High, not necessarily to the teacher. The commitment is to the Most High. If there is a teacher who doesn't live quality in life, you have a right to turn away and leave. In fact, most of the time, you may not even have to take that action. Your own sincerity, or what I often call your own divine committee, will lead you to somebody else that has those qualities that you're seeking also. Mara, or moral life, means really knowing the law of divine life. That is, again, your responsibility or your commitment to study. You have to study that. All scriptures have certain laws that are the same, regardless of their other doctrines. So when you study the divine law, then you will see that moral has a background, but is really only a forgotten knowledge of the true divine law. If you know the divine law, you can almost say moral doesn't exist. Moral is only spoken of when we no longer know where this moral comes from. But there is one overall law, and that's ahimsa. Non-injury to anyone. That is very, very important. So whatever you study, whatever you learn, application in your daily life, in any of your actions, is very, very important. And you should have a very much interior life, a communication with the divine from your heart, not so much from your mind. And you should renew your commitment and have enough humility to ask for help when you realize that you can't do it on your own. Wrong actions or living and working against the divine law, anybody can do. You can cheat the world, you can cheat your spiritual guidance, guide, teacher, you can cheat yourself, but only for so long. Then the divine is going to put a pin in, and the hot air of that balloon will disappear. You be cooperators on the path of your evolution. You have it in your hands. Big dramas, terrible things are only happening so you will wake up. But if you cooperate with your path of evolution, you are bound to meet also your goal wherever it is. Liberation comes in many degrees. Truth is approached in many ways and by many degrees. Liberate yourself from the worst and slowly from what sets you truly free so that you can take flight to the Most High. Amen.